I'm here in this half-abandoned apple orchard in a small town called Forest Range in the Adelaide Hills. There's a huge crop of Granny Smiths here, but in recent years, much of the fruit has been left to rot on the ground, but not anymore.
Yeah, so if you come into each of these rows here and
Brett Dunstone has started a volunteer group, Share Adelaide, to stop fresh produce from going to waste and get it onto people's plates. So what's going on here, Brett?
we're here to pick these Granny Smith apples today from this old orchard. So we've got lots of different organisations registered with us, food relief groups, Foodbank. So we've got a couple of bins that are going to be dropped off that we'll fill up today, and we've got all sorts of other charities that we can drop them off to.
So this was obviously once a commercial orchard. Do you only harvest from orchards or home gardens too?
No, we pick from any backyards or orchards, you know, wherever there's fruit, we'll basically come and pick it.
So stuff that would have been wasted is getting repurposed and helping people in need?
Yeah, exactly.
Brett, can I give you a hand?
Yeah, sure. We can do with all the help we can get.
Absolutely. Now, there's so many apples here. You couldn't possibly pick them all, could you?
No. It's hard to leave some behind, but we pick as much as we can.
And choosing the ones that are good size and not damaged?
Yeah, we try to get the biggest and the best conditioned ones, leaving any that are damaged that might spoil the rest of the batch.
So why are you doing this?
I saw so much fruit going to waste in backyards and orchards and the like that I thought there must be a better way of making use of this resource we've got out there.
And what was your inspiration?
I read about a group in Ballarat called the Hidden Orchard that basically have been doing something like this for over 5 years, and let's see if we can do something similar to that here in Adelaide and put it out there, and you know, it's grown from there.
How big is the food waste issue in Australia?
Oh, it's massive. It's hard to quantify, but around a quarter of produce on farms goes to waste before it even leaves the farm gate. And similar in backyards where there's just so much produce that's going to waste. And you know, you couple that with the massive food insecurity issue where there's probably a third of households that are food insecure. We just see this as a massive way to bridge the gap between the food waste and the food insecurity.
So who calls you?
Well, we get all sorts calling us, like, elderly, people that are too busy, all sorts of people that see they've got fruit trees in their backyard that, basically they can't make use of it. Too much for them to eat themselves, or sometimes they don't like the fruit but want to see it go to better use than it is at the moment.
Volunteers of all ages are pitching in to harvest the fruit. The volunteers can keep some for themselves, but the vast majority is distributed to charities.
I'm picking apples for Share so then they can get donated to charities so then they can make food for people that don't have enough money to buy food. Yeah, I am enjoying it.
So this is my first Granny Smith picking, so it's good fun here, a bit of workout for me as well, which is great. We can convert some of our free time to do what is helpful to the others. So that's the main thing. And also, like a bit of socialising here and then back to the nature here.
Most of these apples are going to Foodbank, but several boxes are staying local. They're going to a community centre in nearby Aldgate.
Whoa! Oh wow, fabulous. They look amazing. They're great, beautiful.
From being freshly picked.
Excellent. It's fabulous.
Bernadette Redding from the Hut Community Centre welcomes any fresh food donations, which all help to feed locals in the Adelaide Hills who are doing it tough. So who do these Granny Smith go to?
So we have a food pantry here on a Tuesday and a Thursday. We have lots of members that are in financial hardship and come along to get free fresh fruit and veg from us.
So is it worse at the moment because of the cost of living crisis?
Yeah, definitely. We have lots of new members coming along each week. Lots of young families, young people, homelessness, housing costs as well, it's an increase in bills, and also too, healthy food is a lot more expensive.
Now, we've obviously got a lot more than just apples. Where does this other produce come from?
So we don't get any funding for our food pantry, so we do rely solely on community donations. All of the produce here comes from either Oz Harvest or Foodbank, local bakeries and other organisations, as well as people's gardens.
Oh, we've got apples and lots of other stuff for you today.
Amazing.
Everything is lovely and fresh today, so help yourself to what you need.
And some potatoes. That'll be good to feed the kids.
Now, this is not only meeting people's needs, but it's also preventing food waste.
It is absolutely. So we have a good alignment with Share Adelaide. One of our values is to reduce food waste, and if we can provide good quality fruit and veg for people in need as well, there's a huge benefit.
Next stop, Cumberland Park in Adelaide's inner south to harvest kumquats. I'm catching a ride with Brett. There's a lot going on, Brett. This could almost be a full-time job.
Yeah, it's a full-time job doing all the logistics and whatnot.
And this is a volunteer, you're doing this as well as a job.
Yeah, no, it's it's not my normal day job. I'm an engineer by day, but it definitely keeps me busy.
And how many volunteers have you got to help with all the harvesting?
We've got hundreds of volunteers registered. We've probably had over 100 come out to help them harvest themselves, but yeah, we've been very lucky.
That's amazing. Wow, they've already started. The property owner isn't home, but she's called in Brett and his team because she's keen for her kumquats to be put to good use by people who'll appreciate them. It's pretty amazing how much fruit you get off one tree.
Sure is, and these are a little bit of a different fruit, so I'm planning to make some marmalades that we can give to some of the charities that we support.
Good on you. In its first year, Share Adelaide harvested 11.5 tonnes of food, and that's expected to grow as call-outs increase. So while this isn't that common in Australia, overseas a lot more people do it, don't they?
A number of countries like the United States and England and the like, it's massive. That I think across the US, for example, there's hundreds of groups that are making use of produce in orchards and backyards. So that's one of my big goals, is to try and make this more widespread around Australia, to make better use of the produce we've got just sitting there really, to help feed people out there in need.